Hello, I'm Dr. Ron England, and this video is about views. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a view. Beauty of views is that if you have tables, tables have multiple tables joining together for design, and you create good functional dependency in your tables. Views help you put pieces of data together in a way that's very reusable when you have to join tables together. And I'm going to use an example here to show this. And it's a fairly complex example where we have to join multiple tables. The concept here is our student registration database. In our student registration database, you've got courses, which have the data that go with courses like prefix, numbers, and descriptions. You have semesters, which is the fall, the spring, different terms. Courses and semesters go together to create offerings. If I offer a course, that's an entity in the database. And a course offering is nothing more than a pointer to a semester and to a course. If I offer a course, all I need to know is what semester I offer it in and what course is being offered. So that's like scheduling. Okay. Now, over here I've got students. Okay. Students will register for courses. So student has information about the student, but so to put a student into a course, I have to create a student enrollment. And a student enrollment is simply a student that would register for a specific course offering. And all that table needs to have is a pointer to the student and a pointer to the course offering. Now, what if I want to show the courses that a student is registered for any given term or just all the registrations for students? What if I want to show that? Okay, well, every time I'd have to do it, I'd have to join a bunch of tables. I'd have to join the students table all the way down here to the courses table and the semesters table. So I'd have to join all 5 of these tables each time. Well, there's an easier way to do that, and that's to create a view. So I'm going to create a view. I'm going to go ahead and use the registration database. And I'm going to create the view. So I'm going to do this by hand. So I'm going to create view. And I'm going to call this view registration. First part of the view is, and the view is really just a select statement that's used over and over again, even though there can be a lot more complex things that go with that. So I'm going to go ahead and select. Now, for a good form, I'm going to put this in another line here, but I'm going to select, first I'm going to take the first name text, and that's going to be the first name text from the students table. Put a space in, and then I'm also going to put last name text. And I'm going to call that name. Okay. I'm also going to get some information about the course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the prefix and the number, just joining them as strings, and I'm going to call that course. And then I'm going to take the last piece, which is the term identifier, okay, and the year, which I need to put in brackets because year is a keyword. Okay, those are all from tables. Now, all those names are unique. So in other words, when I compile this query, I don't actually have to specify what table I'm getting anything from, because all of those are coming, they're not reused in multiple tables. Otherwise, I'd have to actually put the table designation and the field designation to do this. I'm going to call this one term. Okay. Now, I need to get it. Now, here's the tables. Remember, I had a bunch of tables that I'm joining together. I have to list the tables I'm going to pull this from. So the tables I'm pulling this from are students, was one of the tables. Student enrollment was the next one. Okay, the next table I was pulling it from was course offering. Okay, the next table was courses. And the last table I pulled it from was semesters. So all that came from those tables. And if I went back over here, I could look. Here's my students, student enrollment, course offering, courses, and last one, semesters. Now, the key part of putting this together is the joining. Well, this one is going to be very straightforward. I'm going to join it on where the joins belong. So I'm actually going to go back here and look at the first join. I know I need to join course offering to student enrollment, but let's start at the top. I need to join students and student enrollment. The join would be student enrollment.student ID with students.id. That's where that field is a foreign key over here to student ID. So where students.id equals student enrollment dot student ID. And got to keep going. Look at the next one. Well, if I go down here, I know that course offering ID joins to student enrollment, so I have to make that one. So course offering dot ID is equal to student enrollment dot course offering ID. And okay, I've got now this joined, that first one joined, that one joined. Now I'm going to take courses, join it to course offering. Courses.id is equal to course offering dot course ID. And okay, the last one being semesters, so semesters.id join to semester ID. So semesters.id is equal to course offering dot semester ID. Now, if I typed everything good, did a good job here, this should compile nicely, which it does. Okay, so I've compiled it. Now the next thing I can do is I can go over here. If I refresh my views, I should be able to go ahead and select from here, and voila, there you go. John Doe, so there's the registrations that I actually have currently that I've put into the database there. So it's going to show me all those. And those are actually good, and it's not really a duplication of one of the John Doe being duplicated twice. It's just the fact that I actually registered that student for that course 2 times when I was playing around with the data. So I could actually remove that registration and work just fine. So there we go. Now, realize that this works just like the query, like a query. So I can say where course equals top 4834, and it's going to show me just that one. Standard query protocol, but I'm actually querying a view here. So that's the simple part of it. Should work very well for you. I want everybody to completely understand views, and you should have had a little bit of exposure to views, but here's a good example of a relatively complex view where everything's been joined together. We did not go into the complexities of all the different ways that you could join the data. We simply did straightforward equals. There's more ways to do this, but straightforward, basic example of a view. Thanks.